So this is Mike B again. And I'm trying to make the right notes for testing the billing process. And I had signed in as a single sign-on user. Let me do that again. Log on. And as me, admin. Billing. There we go. Where is this report? Admin. This doesn't look like what we had at all yesterday. So what's the difference? So admin, utility billing. Okay, let's try that. Admin, utility billing. And there's that report. Meters produced, purchased, and consumed report. So click on that. And Chris Bombeck was saying it'd be fine to run it simply for the Minneapolis campus for November 2022 or prior. But I wanted to get a big chunk of data. So I did it for both that campus and all campuses. And then in addition to running the report and generating the PDFs, I've saved or exported the CSV data so that we could compare it and validate that there were no duplicates. So I'm going to run the big test now for November 2022. Okay. So, well, that's an interesting report. I thought I did 2022. That looks like 2021. Let's check that again. Still calculating. Maybe, is it possible that it goes back a year? No, I must have done the wrong year. Well, don't do that. 2022. There we go. And we're running. That's what I was expecting. This is cleaner. And this again is for all campuses. So I'm going to generate that report to PDF. And all November 2022, all. Download that. And then here's how we get the data. And so we get the export data from the control. We choose all of the data. And I don't know about these options. I don't think they apply. And I just append those same run parameters, all November 2022, all. And when I open that data, I've done a couple of things in Excel. One is I've taken the ribbon and I've customized it to add the form button to custom quick access toolbar. And I go into this data and I highlight all rows and I double click one of them and it sets all of the columns to auto fit. And then I highlight each column in succession to the end of the sheet, end of the rows, end of the columns. And then I hit that form button. We can actually see then the data. And that's just to eyeball it. page down goes down a record. Oh, page down goes down 20 records. Okay. Cursor down goes down 1 record. So that's how you can at least eyeball the data to get some assurance that it's correct. And save that data, and we can compare it with the before picture. That's what I'm creating. So actually what I should do is save this as before. All right. And the other thing about this data is that there should not be duplicates. And I don't think there is in this case. If we look at the nameplate, these should be non-duplicated. So I'm going to go ahead and sort this by nameplate. Data. A to Z. Column. There it is, nameplate. There we go. And there's not that many, so I'm going to just eyeball them this time. But the breakdown of this nameplate is the building, meter number, type, and type count. So we've got an air conditioner, 1, 2, in building 1, 1, 1, 2, so on. So again, I'm looking for any duplicates, and I do not see such in here. Again, it's unique. And again, it's unique, conditioner 1 and conditioner 2. This might be, no, well, this might be interesting. There's only 1 for 142. I don't know if that means these are older or decommissioned steam. Okay, I'm going to add a column here and then remove it again, but just to make sure there aren't any duplicates. I know there's a way to do that in Excel. But I'll use the brute force method. Okay. If equal then that is a no. It's not a duplicate. If it does equal, then it's a yes. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and duplicate that through all these rows. And then filter, filter, didn't want help. Data, filter. Well, that's interesting. So there's a limit to what you can filter? All right. Just looking to see if there's a yes in this column. Okay, paging up to the top. And I don't see any duplicates. I'm going to remove this now. That was the duplicate check. I'm going to save this. And that is the all report for meter per produced, purchased, and consumed percent. And I saved the export of the PDF. There it is. And I'm going to update our spreadsheet with that. So back to that main UMN in progress and cursor over here to the before PDF name. There we go. And again, here's how you would check to see if it exists. Doing a Windows R command, change to downloads folder. And do a dir in parentheses because you might have embedded spaces, and then paste that name. And it does exist there. So we know that were good. I'm going to copy that from here to the DIR listing. And now this should compare. And it does. There we go. Now we've run it for all. Now we want to run it for Minneapolis campus only. So back to it. And hit the change the location to Minneapolis campus and press OK. Is that Minneapolis only? Is it still calculating? I was expecting this to quit spinning. Oh, while we're waiting. Well, I know it's much less data, so I'm going to go ahead and export it first as a CSV file. So all 2020-11 November 2022. What does this mean? Oh, it's the month number as well as the month. Okay, that's an interesting abbreviation. Okay, so I'm going to cancel out of this and I'm going to do an export the data. Do all data. And it should ask me for a name here. And I'm going to say all November 2022 Minneapolis. And I'll save the PDF to this same. And I'm going to say before. There we go. And output the PDF to that same name. There we go. And save that in our saved output spreadsheet. There's that. So now There's the saved output spreadsheet. And you see the difference. It's hard to see the difference because it's so big. The file name. There we go. So the first test was all locations, campuses, excuse me. Second was just Minneapolis. So I'm going to take this and again, test that it exists in my output location. Oh, there we go. So dir quote, quote, and then position between the quotes and insert. And we see that it does, the before does exist. So back to the spreadsheet. I copy that to the directory listing location. Comparing the two, they do exist. And notes about run. So for this one, it's all, hold on, what is it? 3 parameters: utility type, current usage period, and location. So utility type. And for both of these, it's all. And then current period, current usage period, that was 2022 11 November. Is that right? Yep. For both. And then the final prompt was location. And the first test was for all locations. And the second one was for Minneapolis campus. And there we have it. One last test to make was that downloaded file, that CSV file for Minneapolis. Just wanted to check to see that that indeed was non-duplicated. It should be, because the other all file was non-duplicated. So I'm not even going to check that. I'm just going to trust that to be the case. So 2 PDFs, 1 CSV file. And that's the end of this recording.